So I've been playing Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance. I'm not going to claim to be an avid fan of Dark Crystal, and if I'm being completely honest, I was a little more curious about this part of the game. Since I saw the trailer, I was entranced by just how the game looked.
Ogre slept too long, far too long. Sing me your story. What has become of...
Friends that know me know that I'm a big Final Fantasy Tactics fan, and I gotta say, this trailer was hitting some pretty big feelings that I get from playing Final Fantasy Tactics. And why shouldn't I? The team themselves said that Final Fantasy Tactics was basically their whole inspiration for making this game. So of course on launch day I picked it up, and for the most part I've enjoyed it. I clearly haven't beaten it, but during the playthrough I've definitely formed some opinions on it. First and foremost, when it comes to the gameplay and combat, it rocks. It's just what you'd want from a grid turn-based RPG, and even has some unique ideas, such as some characters being able to move and then fly to further increase their movement, and even giving themselves a bit of height if they want to. The class system hits pretty hard too, stemming from a basic 3 type of classes that morph and change into subclasses. Working on multiple classes will allow you to unlock classes that will share combined features of different classes. This is stellar as it doesn't really restrict any character to one role. Also, there are some units that get a unique kind of class, so the variety of gameplay is definitely there. Add on to that, characters can have unique abilities and perks like being able to fly and having resistance to poison, so this gives a lot of customization to each character. This definitely makes for a really good bit of gameplay. But that's kind of it. Having Dark Crystal in itself to work with would seem to make for a good bit of storytelling. Or so you'd think. To be perfectly honest, the storytelling is weak in almost every form. Dialogue mostly comes from each new mission, and it's usually to the point and only really involves the situation at hand and not the story as a whole. Like, who is this character? What's their importance? Why am I supposed to care about them? None of that is present, and when your inspiration comes from Final Fantasy Tactics itself, well, that's kind of a big miss. After a victory, you might get a little more dialogue or something happening in the overall story, but it's very brief. The game is starving for more cutscenes and a deeper look into the characters you're actually using. The conveyance of story is weak, animations are few and far between, and they're also a little stiff, and it just really puts a dent in the overall quality of the game. Don't get me wrong, I think Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance as a game is pretty enjoyable, but if it's a deep, engaging story to get immersed in, you might want to look elsewhere. Like Final Fantasy Tactics! Hey friends, this was just a little insight I wanted to give about my experiences with Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance, but shouldn't be taken as a full, concise review. I hope you'll check it out for yourself and tell me what you think. In the meantime, leave a like, comment, and maybe subscribe if you want to see more. As always, keep it practical.